What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video on my channel. My name is Sean, aka Elite, and today we've got some FIFA 21 news for you. Now you might be wondering, why am I here? Where's the normal setup? I'm obviously away from home right now, but I brought my laptop, I brought my camera, I brought my microphone, the bare necessities, just in case we got some FIFA 21 news while I was gone, and we did. So that's why this video is coming out to you guys today. We've got some Volta news, which is actually very, very good news. You guys are probably going to be pretty happy with this. Volta, we're seeing something that probably should have came out initially. You might know what it is already. But Volta news, we've got some gameplay news. So just some basic things that EA generic gameplay notes, essentially. And then something pretty cool, we've got a new celebration already confirmed for FIFA 21, and I'll be showcasing that in this video. So let's get started. We'll start off with gameplay, because I feel like that is the most generic thing that we're seeing. We'll get it out of the way early. And again, if the quality of the audio or the video or anything like that is lower than normal, please forgive me. I'm doing what I can to get out the videos for you, no matter my situation. So with gameplay, the title of the gameplay notes are FIFA 21 rewards you for the creativity and control all over the pitch, which is good. It's a good start, but in FIFA 20, what we saw was no control over the pitch. I mean, so much of it was just down to luck and AI and really bad metas. Honestly, FIFA 20, as I've mentioned in previous videos, is one of my least favorite games in terms of gameplay. Now, it's not my least favorite FIFA of all time, because I thought the content, despite the fact it wasn't perfect, was good. It was very good. So that's why it's not the worst FIFA ever. The content really, really picked up the slack for gameplay. But FIFA 20's gameplay, just like 19, was really, really bad. And hopefully they can improve it going into FIFA 21, because in the essence of the game, as much of a trader and a menu player that I am, SBCs, all of that stuff I love on the menu, what's the point if you don't want to use the players that you grind to in the game? And that's been the case for the last 2 years. So, with the notes, they say that they're going to add all new dynamic attacking systems. So that way, your players are making more unique runs. Nothing like the same thing over and over again. With your players are going to be making more unique dynamic runs, and it's going to be more based on the players' work rates in real life, how they play in real life. So if you've got a player like, let's say, Neymar, right? He's going to be a little bit more dynamic, making the runs into the middle. He's going to be more all over the place, like Neymar is in real life. While if you have a player like Adama Traore, who is very different style play for a winger in terms of Neymar, Adama Traore might be sticking to the wing, using his strength like physicality and pace, and staying out wide, while Neymar is going to be more creative and coming inwards into the pitch. So that's what we might see from different players in their more dynamic attacking runs. It'll be a little bit less robotic, I guess you could say, because if you have to be alert to all the runs your players are making, and you're not just expecting the same run over and over and over again, that can make it a lot more fun. So if they're able to execute on this idea, I think it could improve gameplay quite a bit. So another thing that they've added to the gameplay is an agile dribbling system. This is the exact same thing they said in FIFA 16, and FIFA 16 had pretty good dribbling. So I will say this is promising, because agile dribbling is probably the only thing that made FIFA 16 any fun at all in terms of playing that game. Now, it's the worst FIFA of all time, FIFA 16 was, but the dribbling was a positive part of that game, for sure. So that is promising, because whenever they've promised good dribbling, they have come through and made dribbling better. And I really like games that are based around dribbling, skill moves, and all of that stuff, because I feel like it does add a little bit more of a skill gap. Now, not La Croqueta, La Croqueta, La Croqueta, El Tornado. Obviously, that meta is stupid. But if you buff skill moves just a little, it does add a little bit of a skill gap to the players who don't know the skill moves. and can't execute them in game. Now, if you have one or two skill moves that are just ridiculously good and the rest of them are average, then everybody's just going to learn those two skill moves and then abuse them, like we saw in FIFA 19. But if they can buff all skill moves equally and find a balance to where if players are using the 4-star and 5-star skillers a lot more, and it actually gives an advantage, I think it could be a big plus on FIFA 21. Now, I'm not sure if that's what they're going to be going for, but all I do know is I remember that Ben Yedder card back in FIFA 16, any version of his card, but especially the team of the season, unbelievable. You give a card that kind of agility and dribbling in a game that really rewards good dribblers and skillers, you're going to have a lot of fun with the game. So hopefully they can execute on this very well as well. Creative runs we've already talked about, but on top of creative runs, you've got positioning personality, and that kind of links together with the creative runs we talked about. They say it raises the importance of positional awareness, so the world-class forwards will hold their runs to stay level, while the crappier players, I guess, will go offsides a lot more. Something along those lines is kind of what they're hinting towards, but we don't know too much about what they mean by positioning personality. And honestly, this one isn't as promising as the other two things they added to the gameplay. I don't know if positioning personality is going to be a good idea, because what we're going to see is a lot more of a difference between players with really good teams and players with really bad teams. And then, although I don't want a Gervinho, Abarbo, Doumbia top playing just as well as a Team of the Year Ronaldo, Team of the Year Messi, Team of the Year Neymar attack, I think that if they make crappier players or crappier cards even worse, it's going to be a little bit more boring to want to try to play with creative ultimate teams, and you're just going to fall into a meta of using those higher rated cards again this year, which could be a downside to Ultimate Team. Nonetheless, those are the different things that we've seen for the gameplay so far and what they've introduced. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to hop into Volta next, which we are seeing one really, really good aspect of FIFA 21 and something that should have come out a long time ago. They say we're going to experience a more social street football with Volta squads. It's going to be like pro clubs almost. And that's what they should have done from the beginning. I don't know why they waited this long to introduce it. It wasn't that hard. It can't have been that hard. And even at the beginning of FIFA 20, before it even came out, when I was getting to play it in Germany, they were kind of teasing the fact that it could come out in December, January, because it was almost ready. And then they didn't release it at all during FIFA 20. And guess how much I played Volta when the full game came out and Ultimate Team came out? Zero. I don't think I logged into Volta. I did not log into Volta once. I didn't even click the button on Volta. Didn't even open it, all right? Let alone start it or anything. I played the story mode back in Germany when I got access to it, and it was good. Don't get me wrong, the story mode was fun. It wasn't very long, but it made it so I could do it in a couple hours and get it over with. I enjoyed the story mode for Volta. But once I realized you can't play with your friends, why even have Volta? I mean, that's the whole point, right? And now they're adding it. FIFA 21, you're going to get to play Volta with your friends. And on top of that, they're probably going to improve upon the skill moves in Volta, because what we saw last year was you could aim your analog stick in every 15 degrees. Every 15 degrees, I believe it was, for 360 degrees on your analog stick. Every 15 degrees was a different skill move. But that also made it so that you didn't really have to learn the skill moves. You could just do that every single time, and it would do a skill move for you, which I didn't really like that much. I think it would be better if you had to learn the skill moves and then utilize them in Volta rather than it just being random, because if it's random and it's doing that stuff for you, sure, it's cool, but it's not as rewarding. It's not as fun, ultimately, as actually learning the skill moves and then executing them in the game, which is exactly how they do it in Ultimate Team. There's no button to do an automatic skill move for you in regular Ultimate Team, and I don't think that it should be in Volta either. But that is an awesome improvement and an awesome introduction. Even though it's late, it's better late than never. I'm glad they added it for FIFA 21. And to finish off this video, and probably the title of the video, so if I made you wait this long for the part of the video that you clicked on, I do apologize for that. But we've got a new celebration.
Develop and we can get better every day. 4 years ago I was in Green. Things can turn like this. When I scored my first goal in front of the yellow wall.
In FIFA 21, that's already confirmed, and it's going to be the Megan Rapinoe little celebration that she did in the Women's World Cup. And you can see on your screen right now Eric Cantona, who is French. I know a couple of videos ago I accidentally said he was Spanish. There he is doing the Megan Rapinoe celebration. That's all we've got to see. But that little GIF right there is confirming a new celebration. And with that being said, they might be adding a couple more of the celebrations that we saw from that Women's World Cup. If you guys remember the Alex Morgan sipping on tea, I know the English viewers probably not going to enjoy that one as much, because when she did that, it was more so mocking English people when they were playing against each other. So I guess in a way they might not add that one just because it is a little bit triggering. But if they add the MBAPPE crying celebration, I don't see any reason they can't add the sipping tea one or the shushing one or any of that stuff. I mean, every single celebration at this point is triggering you in Foot Champs. Why not add another toxic one? Nonetheless, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Sorry for the lower quality of camera and audio, but hopefully it did its job just fine. Nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you then. Peace out.